Jesus Prayer. Using God question from person X. Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. Then it always has a function, always because I need it, and it is more than just functioning. Answer? Yes, then Jesus Christ accepts I love you or I'm hot for you. So then change your mantra in that direction. So Jesus Christ remains a core component, but then it changes. Jesus Christ, just you and me or something. Sometimes there really are all these mystical erotic phases. But otherwise, then I'll take a little bit away for you, this one. So now take it again for this. Is there a danger? So now the question is, do I just use it when I say, have mercy on me and similar things? Children may use their parents at first, but they are needy, and it's okay. And the Stari now says, for example, that we are first of all his spiritual children and you can be used. You could also say, you always just ask him, you use him, you want to know something. As a teacher in a school, you are used, so to speak, you are the givers. But it's okay if one of you has a lot at some point or in some area of a hobby that you're really good at, be it surfing or planting garden bulbs or something like that, then you enjoy doing something out of the excess with someone else can share. It's completely different than someone cheating you out of your last pennies. And Jesus is not in a position right now to let you steal every last tulip bulb. So it's initially planned that whoever sees the Father, through me or something like that, this is a source. This is abundance. From society, of course, we first of all know that everything is scarce. Everything is becoming more and more scarce. And if I take anything else for myself from the squire, I will almost be guilty of it. That's one thing, a break on being able to receive. And the second thing is that it has to do with how this society instills in us what our self-worth is like. When I give something, I have to be useful. And when I give something, I am a great person. And when I receive, I make myself small. And from the perspective of mysticism, the Catholic Church also has the whole Marian mysticism. It is actually the case that people first have to understand again that they can be recipients. And there's no promissory note attached or the small print like that. Now you've received a month's subscription, but unfortunately you've now signed a 2-year subscription, and then you can't get out or something like that. So there is no fine print when you receive something here. It is an endless source of spreading love. And the thing is so incredible that we become so rigid and think, there must be a catch if I receive something here. Well, that scares me, something is wrong. And then really, out of this rigidity, that at most even in relationship, it's somehow just a style of exchange. What do I know? You do this and that. In return you get, what do I know? You're a good craftsman. But in return you always get emotional management and tenderness from me or something like that. So often it's a deal, but if you're clear about it, it might be okay. And now of all times, even in a romantic relationship, these aspects of utility and exchange and giving and taking still come into play. And now we come to such a source where everything is there in abundance and also love. And that is a shock to the soul. Help now I should receive. And here in my mysticism, it's really about stop making something of yourself. Stop living according to concepts. Just flow with the moment. Always look and ask what possibilities it offers and receive the fullness of life and look forward to it again. In fact, when Jesus says, be like children, this childlike basic attitude, you are so relaxed and really let yourself go and be supported. And if you don't want to receive much and think that's okay, then you're more likely to deal with relationships that way, accepting that a lot of people are really running around like hungry ghosts and are really very needy and using you or something like that. So actually all children and says, then in the relationship it's okay for me not to receive for a while, but it is really a retarding attitude towards the divine source of love. And that's another fine observation of what comes up. Help, love is here now. I'm so scared because I don't know any different. And then it rattles. Help. The concepts of love that I have experienced so far, were they even love? It's also such a pain that everything is being called into question. And the crazy thing is that at some point you will realize that I am love. It is I myself. When you, for example, comfortably speak the mantra into your heart space, into the physical heart space wing. This isn't necessarily a problem for beginners, because then you'll sometimes experience a lot of fear or hate and pain. It then happens very quickly. The Russian pilgrim in the book does it that way. But then, once you're through it, you'll end up in an area like that at some point, which I think goes quickly, where there is so much radiant sweetness and tenderness, and then, my goodness, that's a heart. That's it. And then there's a childhood moment of me in the meadows looking at the sunbeams and butterflies and stuff like that. Childhood moments of such sweetness and happiness. These are now very strange words that monks use, which just melts from the Middle Ages. This is my own heart energy. That's me. Then you will notice what you are giving away. And suddenly you have it and can share it with yourself. This is a completely crazy form of self-esteem that then arises. And then you ask yourself, do I really want to give it away? What do I get in return from the deal? And if you now connect this again with your own being of light, then you are out of this, I am a lack being. You are then the fullness, and in the fullness yourself. And that is being healthy. And I'm like, it's not all just basic seminars. I have an idea from perception, so to speak. Because of working with lots and lots of people, it's easiest to work under such cultural conditions. So you don't have to sit there forever. And they are so different. Each avalanche victim has to be dug up a little differently. But I am in touch with something in you that you would never believe that it was you and that you were so great. Because you have mostly been made small, and especially gratitude and kindness. It is rare for what you have given to others. This makes you think that was crap. Even if you gave the last one, that's still crap. Yes, I'm just taking away concepts that why? I'm just restoring the river by removing barriers that made it a canal and floodgates and stuff like that. I'm taking all of that out. And then you realize it's actually always been you. Only you were proud of it. Because you suffered through it, you worked for it. There used to be good feedback, but things still seem to have stagnated. And until you realize, you don't even have to have a near-death experience to realize that I am the light. Because you notice, at some point this will be forbidden by the church. But when Jesus says of himself, I am the light of the world, you can only use the sentence, only I and no one else. And you will at least have him, well, because it is legitimate in the church, I too am the light of the world, in the sense. Because you realize I am the light. And that is a gigantic participation in the network of humanity. And she's great. She's not a parasite on earth. These are the 10% here in the world who own as much as the rest of humanity will. And they tell us through the mass media that we are becoming the parasite. Kind. So that's no obstacle for you to feel this greatness in an exemplary way. And by being you, others come into contact with this energy. Concepts don't help. You have a sense of what is here and now in space. And then you do that. And if you unlock this for yourself, what is possible for you here and now? So if you become your special needs student, so to speak, your sweet thing, and then so much is unlocked, and then you get there. It doesn't take years at all. It's just that we have the wrong ideas and, very importantly, have looked in the wrong place with the wrong means. And that's why the search think it's complicated. No, throw the funds away, because you are looking for something that you have always been. This is simply a severe split in personality, a dissociation, after long-term trauma. So we may have split off very deep pain and ancient shame, but we have also split off our light through deepest self-doubt, through deepest pain, and that's just a higher level of personality. This is nothing super transcendent, supernatural. It rarely gets as sick as it is. Yes, that's it. This is a very good attempt.